Welcome to the Dynasty Dugout Show, a podcast covering all things minor league baseball. Get a front row seat to the action with everything you need to know about the future stars of Major League Baseball. And now, here's your host, Chris Clegg.
Hello and welcome to the show. It is Thursday. It's May 29th. Man, we are almost to June. We're almost to the DSL kickoff. It's wild. The season's fully underway, 2 months in. Got good numbers to break down from prospects. And as usual, we're going to talk about baseball. Before we dive in on yesterday's action, first things first, the show is brought to you by Connect Roasters. Connect Roasters is Ian Happ's coffee company. They make an incredibly smooth blend of coffee, and Connect Roasters is an awesome company that gives back to the community. So go check them out at connectroasters.com. You can get 2 bags of the Gold Glove Blend. You can get it buy one, get one 50% off. I'd encourage you to do that. Check it out. Support a great company. You can get buy one, get one 50% off using the code Dynasty Dugout at checkout. Also, we're proud to partner with Chinook Seedery, who are the best sunflower seeds in the game. Chinook has a wide variety of flavors, from sweet, salty, and spicy. All are tremendous. You can get 10% off your order at chinookseedery.com using the code Dynasty Dugout. All right, let's dive in on the show. There's plenty to talk about today. Start off the top with Cole Young, who is swinging it quite well. Young had a great game yesterday. He had 5 hits and 6 trips to the plate. That included 3 singles and 2 doubles. He even swiped a base. Young's doing some really good things so far this year, and it's no shock. Cole Young is a high floor hitter. He's going to make a lot of contacts. He's going to put a ton of balls into play. And that's exactly what Cole Young has done this year. So far on the season in AAA, again, he's 21, so he will turn 22 at the end of the summer, but 21-year-old in AAA, Cole Young is slashing .277, .384, .465, 5 homers and 4 stolen bases. This is kind of the prospect that I thought he could be. It's a high floor hitter. It's probably below average game power, just given all things considered. The hit tool's really good in advance, but the launch angles are a little bit of a concern. And I don't think Young's going to run all that much. He stole 23 bases last year. He stole 22 in 2023, but the speed's not there. I just expect Cole Young to be a 12 home run, 10 stolen base type, which is useful, but the hit tool is there for sure. He's walked as often as he's struck out, so no surprise there, just given the kind of player that we're talking about. So when we look at the profile, under the hood, what does it tell us about Cole Young? Well, let's see. Young, right now, the average EV is good. 89.6 miles an hour is solid. That's above average for MiLB standards. He's got a near 105 mile an hour 90th, which is also above average. But the biggest issue is Young's just hitting the ball into the ground quite often. You look at the contact rate, near 82%. Phenomenal. Chase rate, 23%. That's good. Last year, he's around a 15% chase, so it is up against better pitching, but 23% still will play. 45% hard hit rate. Great. That's what you want to see. 89% zone contact rate. Awesome. Love to see it. Young actually hits the ball hard when he gets it in the air. It's a 97 mile an hour average EV on line drives and 94 on fly balls. And on pulled fly balls is 99 miles an hour. Some really good things in the profile. The problem is the launch angle. Sweet spot rate, 26% is really low, near 50% ground ball rate. I don't love to see that. Those are things that we want to see improved on, and we're going to have to see Young put in the work to get more launch. Now, it's a good player. He could be on his way to Seattle pretty soon. And again, I'm not going to be the highest on Cole Young. I have him as a top 70 prospect. Some are going to push him really high. To me, it's just a high floor hitter with kind of average skills across the board, probably below average game power. So again, good prospect, really high floor prospect, going to be a major leaguer for a long time. I like Cole Young. Hear me out. Don't hear me say I don't like him. Gabriel Gonzalez, the Twins. This is an interesting prospect because Gabriel Gonzalez has given me a lot of bad looks over the years. This spring, he put on one of the worst performances I had seen in spring breakout. Honestly, the glove was bad. The body's not great. It's an interesting profile. He's very short, very stocky, but he's 21 in AA. He's a young 21 in AA at that. And when you look at Gabriel Gonzalez, like, he's performing this year. He continues to hit, stands out. And yesterday, another 4-hit game, 2 singles, 2 doubles. So that's obviously pretty standout. He does have 5 home runs on the year. Hasn't hit one since May 15th, but 5 homers and 2 stolen bases for Gabriel Gonzalez. But the slash line, really impressive for Gabby G. 321, 387, 506. That's split between high A and double A. So he's still hitting upon the move to double A, and that's encouraging to see. Now, similar to what we talked about with Cole Young, Gabriel Gonzalez hits the ball on the ground a lot. The body's not great. I don't think the glove's great with Gonzalez. I think the field to hit is closer to average than above. Now, the contact rates look good, but hit tool is defined by more than just contact rate. So there's other things that go into a hit tool. So when we look at this, there are some questions in the profile still for me about Gabriel Gonzalez. He's a good prospect. How good? I don't know. Like, I probably wouldn't pick him up in anything more than like 300 prospects. And I'm still a little bit concerned about the profile with Gabriel Gonzalez with the Twins. So just know that, and know that while it is interesting and there are some interesting things in the profile, it looks kind of good, I may kind of pull in the reins a little bit. All right, let's talk about a prospect that I know nobody's talking about or cares about at all, and that's Anthony Seigler of the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, this is funny because you look at the trajectory of prospect development, and this is a funny one because Seigler was a first-round pick back in 2018. So Yankees select him 23rd overall. He gets a $2.8 million bonus out of Cartersville High School in Georgia. So big baseball area in Cartersville. And they've had some Little League World Series runs. That's a hotbed for baseball. Seigler came out of there. He really hasn't been a prospect in a while. Like, you look, and he's kind of been completely off radar. So Seigler I've seen play over the years in a variety of leagues, whether it be spring training, whether it be with him in Hudson Valley. I saw him in high A there. Now, Seigler just hasn't performed. But all of a sudden this year, things have begun to look much better. Seigler's in AAA with the Brewers. He is 25 years old. He will turn 26 this month. So he is an older prospect. As you mentioned, a prep guy drafted in 2018. He has been around for quite some time. But Seigler is hitting, and that has continued year over year, day over day. Like, it's just consistent performance. He has a hit streak going back to the beginning of May. So May 1st was the last time that Seigler did not have a hit in a game, and his on base streak goes back even further. You would have to go back to I'm still going back further. A game that he started on the Gamblers. You have to go back to April 17th to find the last time that Seigler did not get on base in a game that he started. So pretty impressive stuff from Anthony Seigler so far. He's slashing 298, 436, 534. It's by far his best performance at any level. He has 6 home runs. He has 13 stolen bases. And it is an interesting profile where when you look at, he's versatile. So he's playing at catcher. He's played some second base as well. He's played some third base. So this is kind of profile that maybe the Brewers like, given that they've got versatility. He can catch, he can play second. He's even had some time at third. And over the years, he's even had a little bit of time in outfield. Not much, but he has played outfield in his professional career. So Seigler's interesting. Like, is it legit? And I'm kind of wondering that myself. Like, we have late career breakouts sometimes, but what's Seigler doing under the hood? Well, on average, a 91 mile an hour average exit velocity is really good. I don't care about his age. That will play. The 9th percentile is below average at 101.8, so you were looking at 103.5 being MLB average. Given Seigler's age, the power is below average and a max of 106, not great. But the approach and contact are good. Contact rate of 79% overall, a chase rate below 20%, and a zone contact rate of 85% for Anthony Seigler. All really good marks. Now, Seigler makes the most of his contact, though. He lifts the ball, and he lifts it to the pull side with authority. So his air percentage is about 64% right now, and the average EV on balls in the air is good. Now, he pulls 37% of his fly balls. You like to see that. The EV on those is solid. And the sweet spot rate, 42%. So he's hitting the ball in ideal launch angles very, very often, and the hard hit rate of 50%. So Seigler's interesting. He's very under the radar. He was once a top prospect. Now he's not. Post-hype guy. Brewers could bring him up. It wouldn't be surprising. So Anthony Seigler is a name to know. Shay Whitcomb keeps swinging it. At some point, he's going to get back in Houston. Again, another older prospect in AAA. He did debut last year. He's 26 and 8 months, but man, this guy's killing it. He's had an incredible run. He had 3 home runs last night. He's had several multi-homer games. He had 3 homer game last night, and he's had 3 2-home run performances this year. He's up to 16 in 225 plate appearances with 6 stolen bases. Slash line's fine. 264, 351, 574. You have to kind of worry a little bit about contact with Shay Whitcomb, but he does hit the ball hard. He hits the ball in the air. So he does things that you like to see. And honestly, like, this bat could impact the Astros lineup. So chase rate's about average. Zone contact's really good. So that's pretty impressive. The overall contact rate, some swing and miss against breakers. You have to watch out for that. But the overall zone contact looks good when you pair it with everything else in the profile. This was a 5th rounder back in 2020 from UC San Diego. Not talked about much, but he's steadily moved up the system. He's been a consistent power speed source. And I think Shay Whitcomb is really good and needs to be back in that lineup in Houston. And finally, the bats, before we go to the pitchers, Tommy Troy of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Tommy Troy had another good game, 2 home runs, 2 hits on the day, but that doubled his home run total on the year. He had 2 home runs coming into the game. He left with 4. 10 stolen bases, has not been caught. Troy's an interesting profile. Now, we know he spent a lot of last year hurt, and the numbers kind of reflected that. 681 OPS in 314 plate appearances. Not good for somebody that was first rounder and got a $4.4 million bonus, especially a college bat from Stanford. Troy can run. You see it in the stolen bases. He's not the fastest runner. I think he's an above average runner, which based on my clock times when I saw him in the AFL. So above average clock times, maybe plus. The power is below average, I would say. I'm still worried about the power output, but we saw the capability to get to power. The contact skills also about average. And then you look at the batted ball distribution, it all leads to like an average hit tool just given the contact, that he doesn't pull the ball a ton, and that he hits the ball on the ground at like a 40% clip. So an air rate of 60% is fine, doesn't stand out, but it's not like you'd like to see a little more, especially getting the ball in the air to the pull side. So Tommy Troy is moving up for a lot of people. Some people really like him. I've got a lot of questions about him because he's hitting. I mean, he's 284, 419, 426 slash right now. Remember, he is in a very hitter-friendly environment right now. The exit velocities are below average to average at best. So for me, like, Tommy Troy's not a huge buy. I'm not like, I don't know. I'm not like all in on him. He's a top 200 prospect for me, but I haven't seen enough to go very high on him. But it's going to be the bats, and we'll talk about the pitchers right after the break. All right, let's talk some pitchers as we come out of the break, because there were several performances worth noting. Not a lot of big names to talk about, but that's okay. Former big name, though, Cade Cavalli of the Washington Nationals, put on a great start and one of the best starts we've seen from him in years. It's been an interesting path for Cavalli, who was looking like one of the better pitching prospects in the game coming into 2023. He debuted back in 2022, and then 2023 spring training, Cavalli was phenomenal, and it looked like he was going to be in the Nationals rotation. Instead, he blew out. He had Tommy John. Last year, he had a setback with dead arm. He had the flu that kept him out a couple of weeks, which really hurt him. And then it all leads to here. Now, Cavalli's still kind of like rehabbing in the sense right now. He started in single A to begin the year, bumped to double after one start, and then he's been triple since. It's been a rocky road, but the last 3 starts, Cavalli's really settling in AAA, and he's gone 4 innings, 1 earned, 8 Ks, 5 innings, 1 earned, 5K, and 5 innings last night, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, and 10K, no earned. So 1 walk in each of the last 3 starts, 10 strikeouts in that last start, really dominant. So with Cavalli, things look pretty good right now. And it looks like he's settling in nicely where he could be back in Washington pretty soon. Now, Cavalli's velocity is back, so that's a pretty big deal that we've seen the velocity take that step back. He's sitting in the mid-90s. He's throwing 2 fastball variations there between his 2-seam and 4-seam in different shapes, which you like to see. And then also, I mean, he's got a deep arsenal. He's throwing a cutter or a slider that plays like a cutter. They're listed as a slider, but it plays like a cutter at 91. Changeup's 88 to 89. It has 17 inches of arm side fade, which is good. He's dropping in that old hammer curveball, which is exceptional in the mid 80s. He's looking great. Now, Cavalli is still a question mark because he's been injured so much, but right now, last 3 starts, a 1.29 ERA, 40% strikeout rate to 5% walk rate. That'll absolutely play. So you look at that, you like what you see from Cade Cavalli, and it looks like he's poised to kind of take that step forward in Washington pretty soon. There's not a lot kind of holding him back there where I think he could easily step in that rotation and be a nice boost for this team. I get it. They're still 5 games below 500, but Cavalli could be a nice boost for him. And I think that's what they need. He's 26. He needs to be up at this point. Like, there's no reason to, once he's fully ready to go, there's no reason to keep him in AAA, to be honest with you. He was ready back in 2023 before the injury. So let's get Cavalli up and running. Brody Hopkins, he's been a big name. He's really good. He's one of my favorite arms to watch pitch. It's electric stuff. It's like a sub 5 foot release height. Hopkins has everything that you want to see, and it's just fun. The command comes and goes, and it's shown this year. I mean, he has a 12.5% walk rate right now in the year for Hopkins. So that's obviously a concern, and he's had multiple starts with 3 walks or more. His first start of the year was 5 walks and 4 1/3. But last night was one of those good starts where he had just 3 hits allowed, 2 walks, no earned, 8 strikeouts. So the stuff showed through. The command was there. And Hopkins has an electric arsenal. He can miss bats. They're going to run this guy as a starter as long as they can. Remember, he came over in the Randy Arozarena deal last year from Seattle. He was a 6th-round pick back in 2023 from Winthrop in South Carolina. But the stuff, so, I mean, based on pure stuff, like, it's a top 100 prospect. The command needs to be just below average. And if he can do that, then it's going to be really, really fun. So I'm excited to see what Brody Hopkins can do. He can run that fastball up into the upper 90s with pretty good shape from that low release height that's sub 5 feet. He throws a nasty sweeper. He'll hit you with a change that runs the other way. He's got a cutter. It's just electric stuff for Brody Hopkins. So all about command with him. That's all that we need to see. Ryan Degges, this is an interesting one. I saw Degges pitch this spring on the pack fields. I was kind of like whatever about him. So he was a 17th rounder last year out of UNC Charlotte, and I'll spell it Ryan Degges, Ryan Degges. He's 22-year-old in single A. So you look at the numbers and you're like, all right, there's very little takeaway here. But this is also a guy that last year at Charlotte had a 6.33 ERA, and he walked 16.5% of batters. This year in single A, he has a 0.81 ERA right now, which is wild. And yes, it's fueled by a high strand rate and a low BABIP, but he struck out 27.5% of hitters. He has walked nearly 14% of batters, which is concerning. But Degges is fascinating. I mean, to get those kind of results, you got to be doing something right, even as a college arm in single A. So what is it then? What is he doing? What does he bring to the table? Well, it's a fastball that sits 93. He's topped out at 96. He throws a couple of variations of that fastball. So there is some intriguing traits where he's throwing a riding, forcing fastball like 18 inches of vert from a 5.6 release height. So the IVB above average is really, really good with Degges. So he's creating good ride on the pitch. It's a pretty flat vertical approach angle. And he can run a 2-seam that maybe is blending with the 4-seam a little bit. Yeah, it's like 14 inches of run versus 10 on the 4-seam. So not a whole lot different. It's about 2 inches of drop on the IVB. So really, it may just be one pitch where he's just running a little more. But at the end of the day, like, we're getting 2 pitches registered here. So yeah, talk about that. So there is interesting stuff there with the fastballs. The slider looks pretty good too for Ryan Degges. It's got some about 5 to 6 inches of sweep, 2 inches of vert on it. So that's a fascinating pitch there. He is missing bats with the slider, but the bat missing pitch has really been the cutter for him that's sitting like 89 or sitting 86, touching 89. But it's got a pretty high whiff rate, as does the changeup. The changeup he hasn't thrown a lot. It sits in a similar velocity band. But that cutter is a little bit more carry. It's probably the slider blending, if I had to guess. A little more carry, little less sweep. Changeup has about 14 inches of horizontal movement to the arm side. So is Ryan Degges something? I don't know, but he keeps performing. So we got to talk about him when he keeps performing like this. Last night it was 5 innings, 3 hits, 0 earned, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. And I mean, the performance has been good. Like, you look at his game logs, he's made 5 starts, and he came out of the bullpen actually in kind of like a bulk role for his first 4. So really, he's had 9 appearances this year, and he's only had 2 appearances where he allowed an earned run. So shocker. I mean, you look at the fact that he's got such a low ERA, it's not surprising at all. So it's Ryan Degges of the Philadelphia Phillies. So the last pitcher I want to talk about before we get out of here is Jaxon Wiggins. Wiggins might be one of my most wrote about players. He's just been phenomenal. And he's moved to Double-A, and he continues to perform there. Last night it was 5 scoreless, 2 hits, 3 walks. Don't love to see that, but 5 strikeouts, generating whiffs galore. Jaxon Wiggins has been really good all year. The stuff is electric. So when you have the stuff that Jaxon Wiggins brings to the table, the fastballs, I mean, it might be one of the better fastballs out there in the minors. Wiggins is a college pitcher from Arkansas. He also missed significant time. He had TJ during his draft year. He came back last year, pitched well. And this year, it's good again. You look at Wiggins' stuff and what he brings to the table, like the fastball sets everything up. It's mid to upper 90s. It's got pretty good shape on it, too. So when we look at like what he does throw, I mean, he's consistently hitting 98. It's pretty good downhill plane from a 6'6" like frame. He's big. He can throw downhill, but he does create ride. It's like 17 inches of ride. He's touched 101, so that's pretty stupid. Slider's a plus pitch, sits in the upper 80s. He has a low 80s curveball. Changeup's progressing. It's mid to upper 80s. Like, it's got some good fade, good depth. This is a fun arm, and I don't think Jaxon Wiggins has really gotten the love that he deserves. You know, the command comes and goes. We've seen that. It probably settles in as below average command. He is walking 11.5% of batters this year, which is definitely a bit of a concern. You look at the strike rate, too. It currently is 61.5%, so it is below average. But all that to say, Wiggins can get away with below average stuff, in my opinion. He just needs our below average command because the stuff's that good. I think it's a plus fastball and slider potentially. So Jaxon Wiggins of the Cubs, he's going to push near my top 100. I don't care that he's 23. Think about his pitch development clock and cycle where he is. He missed a lot of time. He hasn't thrown a lot of innings. He threw 59 innings last year, 39 so far this year. So he hasn't had a full season of minor league development yet due to the injuries. But Jaxon Wiggins can pitch. Stuff's fun. He's just got to throw strikes. And when he does, he's going to pop off. The starts have been really good this year. Start to start, we've seen pretty good consistency for the most part with Jaxon Wiggins, Cubs right-handed pitching prospect. So it's going to wrap us up. That was the breakdown of what happened yesterday and a kind of deep dive into those players you need to know. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to go check out my DSL prospect set to breakout article that just dropped this morning. Hopefully that will be a resource to you. If you look at the top DSL prospects, as the DSL begins next Monday. So go check that out on the site, dynastydugout.com. Subscribe. I appreciate your support and allowing me to do what I love every single day. But that's going to do it. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Be Friday. See you then.